When you sit with Sadhguru, your relationship with that subject is never the same.
People say, technology, Sadhguru, AI can do it. Because you don't have any brains, you're thinking artificial intelligence is going to do everything.
He speaks one simple message, which is, without soil, we are technically nothing.
Saudi Arabia was a very rich rainforest 8,000 years ago. Today, it's a harsh desert. Beyond 2045, it's going to be extremely difficult to live on this planet. The foundational life is microorganisms, and soil is just that.
Do you see a common thread and theme with humanity so that you have hope?
The question you're asking is, are human beings interested in their well-being? Somebody thinks drug will do, somebody thinks it'll only happen in heaven, somebody thinks Tennessee whiskey will do the job.
I also have a whiskey company. We bottle it in Tennessee. Actually, this year alone, there's a 54% drop.
But they're carrying something else in their pocket, something that doesn't need a bottle.
It's true. You have the biggest voice in this space. Can you go up one more octave?
I see life just the way it is, and you're accusing me that I'm a mystic. So I'm saying you're a mystic.
Are you just pointing to me, or are you talking,
You also.
you're talking to everybody? Well, I was just telling him because he just…
Hey, it's okay, don't tell them all that. Namaskaram, good evening. I said good evening, hello.
Good evening.
Oh. Yes, sir?
Sadhguru, in this moment in time, you spend your time in your life traveling the planet. You see a lot. You've seen a lot. Is there one significant thing that you see amidst all this, whether it's with presidents or dignitaries or in small-town America or small-town India or small-town Romania? Is there one common thread that you see that really unites us all, that you feel, you know, there's a lot of hope lost in the world right now? We're here to, and what you'd all do too with the size of your voices, we're here to reverse that. You said in is the only way out. We've engineered everything outside. I mean, look around, but we don't engineer what's in here, right? So do you see a common thread and theme with humanity, and it's like, so that you have hope? Because a lot of people, they're not as hopeful, right? And I think that's our job, to take what you say. Do you sense that people have the ability to go in even while everything is engineered out? Do we have that moment right now? We haven't reached, the pendulum hasn't swung so far over, right? We can course correct.
The question you're asking is, are human beings interested in their well-being? 100%. It's just how to get there. Each one has their own opinion. There any one human being who is not interested in his or her well-being? There's no such human being, everybody's interested. How? Somebody thinks Tennessee whiskey will do the job. Somebody thinks organic food will do. Somebody thinks drug will do. Somebody thinks going to the temple will do. Somebody thinks it'll only happen in heaven. But there is nobody who is not interested in human well-being. So in fundamental intent, everybody is there. How? You have to convince them. How? Which is the way? Well, it is not some rocket science to understand that human experience happens from within. Hello?
Yeah?
Pain and pleasure comes from within us. Joy and misery comes from within us. Agony and ecstasy happens from within us. When human experience happening from within, if you're seeking well-being, turning inward is a natural process. Because there is so much misconception about this, that if you do something inward, you will leave your home, family, work, everything and go away somewhere into a Himalayan cave. First you must understand, yogis were not living in Himalayan caves till about 800, 900 years ago. It's only when very cruel invasions happened in India The first people who were slaughtered were people who were on the spiritual process, so they all went into the Himalayan caves. Now people think yogis live in caves. They went there to save their lives. Most of them got slaughtered by religious fanatics who came and invaded the nation. Those who could escape went there. Others went further into the mountains, into Tibet. So this was a escape plan, and this reputation that yogis must be living in the cave has come out of that. So, turning inward means everything that's from outside, there is a one way to manage. We have created a whole science and technology how to manage and create things in the outside world. Similarly, there's a subjective science, how to create the inner situation. But to even talk to people about turning inward, about more profound aspects of life. In human aspiration, it's like this. First thing that a human being seeks is pleasantness of life. Pleasantness can be seen as health, simple pleasures, peacefulness, joyfulness, love, compassion. If they become a little more ambitious, blissfulness. These are all different levels of pleasantness that human beings are seeking. In mind, in body, in emotion, in energy, they want to be pleasant. It's only when to some extent it is fulfilled, then people will seek profoundness of experience. Once again, in search of profoundness, different people hit different things.
Right.
But essentially, this is all in terms of human experience people are looking. There are lots of people saying, no, I'm not interested in all this, I want to go to heaven. That's because the advertisements have always been saying that heaven is a very pleasant place. Hello?
Right.
If right from your childhood we told you, God lives in heaven, but it's a horrendous place, you want to go there? No, we'll pray from here only, let him be there. So, in search of pleasantness, all kinds of freaky things human beings are doing. In search of profoundness, even more freaky things are being done. No freaky thing is needed because all human experience is caused from within. If you know how to manage your interiority, you will manage the nature of your experience. But for all this to happen, a few fundamentals on the outside must be settled. One most fundamental thing is food. This is not a choice. What to eat may be a choice. To eat or not is not a choice. That's the basis of our survival. So, in that context, when we say food, I know in California some people are growing vegetables on their walls. Wall is not a good place to grow vegetables.
Oh, you said a wall?
Wall.
Oh.
On their walls, they're growing turnips on the walls.
Oh, I thought you meant like on your land.
Food, 97% of the food that you consume, either plant or animal life, comes from the soil. And from the soil springs everything else. What soil means is, soil is not an inanimate stuff. Soil is the largest living system, not just on the planet, in the known universe, it is the largest living system. Doctor is here, Dr. Emeran is here, he is the expert in this field.
Yeah.
If you take a handful of soil, there are over 6 to 8 billion organisms. Just upon your facial skin, there could be anywhere between 4 to 8 billion organisms right now crawling upon them, unless you're using heavy astringents. Really, you don't see them, that's good. But they are. If you look inside, over 60% are microorganisms, only 40% is your parental genetics. A young mother came and said, Sadhguru, my daughter doesn't listen to what I say. Now the girl said, no, no, do something, our own thing. I said, don't worry, your mother is only 20%.
How'd that go?
I know both of them well, I can say that to them. I'm saying we are exaggerating our role in the making of this life. The making of this life is not our doing. The foundational life is microorganisms. And soil is just that. Soil is the place where they are, really. And from there, it becomes many more complex things, worms, insects, birds, animals, plants, trees, and us, creatures. No, we are beings who don't know how to be.
Yeah.
We're human beings who do not know how to be. This is a serious problem. We got a title of being a being, but we don't know how to be. If you knew how to be, you would definitely keep yourself in the highest level of pleasantness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whiskey would go out of demand.
It will. Well, I was just telling him because he just,
It's okay, don't tell them all that.
no, he has this amazing place in Tennessee, 23,000 acres. He's building something very spectacular that really will become a model for the world. And before we got into anything too heavy, no, I just said, I will be seeing you in Tennessee. I have a vitamin company, but I also have a whiskey company, and it's designed to bring a lot of people together. But we bottle it in Tennessee.
All around us, even today, the early 20th century bootlegging legacy is still maintained.
It's still happening. The Kennedys are still crushing. But, the idea is that things like alcohol, you're starting to see a massive shift. Actually, this year alone, there's a 54% drop. So it's a great…
No, the alcohol consumption has dropped, but they're carrying something else in their pocket.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't need a bottle.
It's true. Well, I gotta say, we obviously come from two very different worlds. I've been so excited to sit next to this man. I've spoken to him on Zooms.
Sit closer?
I'll come closer.
No. The camera
guy
suffer.
The camera guy will kill us. It was perfectly focused. But we ended up here today in Los Angeles with these amazing people. I think once we can drop a little bit of these tidbits of knowledge, you obviously have seen what this man has done, right? In all of its complexity, he speaks one simple message, which is, without soil, we are technically nothing, maybe 20%, maybe 40%, but without it, we can't live. And that handful of soil you were talking about, there's as many people and many organisms in that handful of soil as people living on the planet. Let that sink in for a second. So you're from India. You see a lot. You understand farming and the mechanisms behind it more than pretty much anyone. We live in a world right now, and Sadhguru can elaborate even more, where we have taken the one thing that feeds us, right? Our soil. And we've degraded it to such an extent in the hopes or in the lie, right, that it's producing more. We need to feed more people using this thing called conventional agriculture, which is such an American thing, But we've got ourselves in a little bit of a situation. And Sadhguru, you can elaborate on this, which is the nice little hockey stick where since post-World War II, right, we've lost about 60% of our topsoil. We've also lost 60% of the nutrient value in our food.
60, 90.
90. So it's gone up. But you can see a kind of a hockey stick, but they're pretty parallels. There's a reason for it, right? As you degrade soil, obviously you degrade the food.
See, from early 20th century, human population was 1.6 billion people. Today we are 8.4 billion or nearly 5 billion people. So well over 5 times, 500 plus percentage points we've increased. It's not just reckless reproduction, it's just that people are living longer, which is a good thing.
Right.
But human life, because we are more conscious than any other creatures on the planet, we could plan our lives a little more. At any given time, the best way to live on this planet is 3 generations of people should be alive. Today in a whole lot of families, 5 generations of people are alive.
Wow.
This won't work. This is what is happening right now. So, people should live their full life, that's very important. So the most important thing to understand is that because we are conscious creatures compared to other creatures, we can eat consciously, we can breathe consciously, we can walk consciously, we can rest consciously, we can also reproduce consciously. Hello?
Yeah.
Which is beginning to happen, but still that percentage of population is small. The larger population, still not. And religious groups are in a race to produce more. Just in the past they needed armies, so they produce more. Today also they're in the same mode for whatever reasons. But it's very, very important that we understand the whole bunch of people who are after me continuously saying that I am a depopulation person, okay? Continuously attacking me all over. It's not about depopulation, it's just that human beings should do every aspect of their life consciously. Hello? Ladies? Yes. Reproduction also should be conscious, isn't it? Yes. So, other creatures are not like that, they just simply reproduce whenever it happens. We can plan, we can do everything consciously, that's the whole thing. This needs to happen to the whole population, then things will be reasonably regulated. The human footprint is right now so big, one thing is in terms of population, another thing is in terms of consumption. When we say consumption, almost anybody, you don't have to be a film star for this, almost anybody, if you look at their grandparents and you look at them today, they have at least 50 times more clothes than their grandparents. Am I exaggerating? Hello? No, very much, isn't it? So, can I tell them, buy less clothes? No, human aspiration you cannot contain. You can talk whatever you want, you can weave philosophies. A few people may do it, others will live their life the way they can afford. So human aspiration we are trying to curtail, which will never ever work. Human population we can consciously manage. Right now, this is one way of looking at it. Right now some people are saying, no, planet can take 25 billion people. Oh, I wouldn't like to live on that planet with 25 billion people. There'll be no space to breathe anywhere. So let's look at it this way. See, the fundamental life on this planet is microorganisms. After that, worms, insects, this, that. In the last 70 years, 84% of the insect population is gone.
Let that sink in. 84%.
73% of the vertebrate population is gone. 92% of the freshwater life is gone. What's our plan for children? Our children, I don't know. It looks like our legacy is we want to leave them that kind of a planet, no matter what, they cannot live well. Education, money, wealth, nothing will ensure their well-being. There are many responsible scientists, not WhatsApp scientists, proper responsible scientists who are clearly saying beyond 2045, if we continue as we are doing, beyond 2045, it's going to be extremely difficult to live on this planet because both mental health and physical health will become a serious challenge. We're talking about things that we can count. We can count how many tigers were there in early 20th century, how many are there. Now, Indians are very proud that we have increased the tiger population. I've been a part of that Project Tiger from the very beginning. And now the governments have taken over and they're doing a good job. Chinese are happy they're increasing the panda population. Americans are happy the bears, those who were barely left have come back a little bit. They found 5 wolves. So, we can be happy with the things that we can count. Who is counting the microorganisms, which is the fundamental foundation of our existence?
Well, we are.
So, one way to look at it is, if people are not getting this, that human footprint is too big, let's say 100 years ago or 200 years ago, for one human being, how many worms were there, how many insects were there, how many grasshoppers were there, how many this was there. Today, how many are there if you look at it? It's just hit the bottom. We're trying to save them from extinction. Little neglect from one government for 10-15 years, poof, they'll vanish. Yes or no? A whole lot of animals will just vanish for good. And people are very proud. We will bring them back from their bones. We'll bring them back, we'll bring back a dinosaur. You bring back a dinosaur, you see what'll happen to you. That's not the point. The most important life on this planet is microorganisms. The next most important thing is plant life. And all the other lives are important because upon all their lives we are built. Without them we cannot exist, but without us they will thrive.
So to that point, we have a plan. What he's saying is true, but we have a plan. And there are adults in the room. And here's where it gets exciting. Where it gets exciting is, right now we have a system. What he's saying is so true, and it is bearing down on us. But we have a moment in time right now where we can actually deploy these regenerative systems, just label it regenerative agriculture, right? Which is the exact thing that saves soil. Doesn't even just save it, rebuilds it. So we have an opportunity right now. And he speaks to the highest policymakers in the world, and he is of the upper echelon, the highest level of that. Sadhguru, it was amazing when you were in Baku, and I got to Zoom with you and Josh Tikel. We're now at 100 million acres here in the US. Conversion to regenerative agriculture, which is about 10% of the US farmland. It's going to start becoming a critical mass because we figured out, this isn't old science, but Sadhguru would tell you, from a microorganism standpoint, we have the ability right now to basically build a global $1 trillion a year carbon capture food economy. And we're doing it. And he's doing it. It's actually happening. When you cut out the inputs, right? Stop me whenever you want. When we cut out all the inputs in our farming, right? We live in this industrialized farming method system where it's chemicals and inputs and soil tillage. So simple. Isn't it amazing when you see too, and you see it in India, when we stop tilling our soil, what he's talking about, there's a mycorrhizal network that lives underneath the soil. It's like a network. It's like freeways of information and food that move around with all those microorganisms. When we save that, our plant life goes up. The nutrient value goes up. And as human health goes up, human healthcare costs are going to go down, and mental health is going to level out. So what we're talking about up here, and what Sadhguru has so graciously spent your life doing to give to us, I want to say thank you for inspiring me, and thank you for inspiring this movement. But we're at a moment right now where things are shifting, and we see the value. Now,
let's stop talking about me and talk about soil.
Right? I'm talking about you and soil. I'm not trying to sound crass. I know I'm in the presence of a mystic and just an amazing human. But at the end of the day, We live in giant economies, right? So, and again, I'm not trying to sound crass, but it's for reference. Money talks, bullshit walks. It's just the truth. Regenerative systems produce more money. So are you seeing this now in India as well? You know, inputs in the US are about a $400 an acre spend. So when you use and deploy the regenerative systems, which is no tillage and less inputs, not every topography is going to be input free, but when you stop using pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, and fertilizer, and then the diesel to deploy all this, farmers start saving money, lots of money, tens and hundreds of billions of dollars a year. So Sadhguru, I am happy to report, and I know you have all this data, but how amazing is it that 5 years ago or 6 years ago when we released Kiss the Ground, and since what you've been doing with Save Soil, that we're at 100 million acre threshold in the US alone, right? By Q2 or Q3 of next year or something, we'll be in that like $40 billion savings to the US economy. 40 billion. Once we get up to 200 million, we'll be at about an $80 billion savings because we're sending about $100 billion a year of farmers' money overseas. So Sadhguru, obviously, money runs our economies. We need to look in. We have a mental health crisis. We have a physical human health crisis. Does this give you a little bit of oomph to see that what you are doing is working, to see that we've been able to make this amount of change and it's actually the numbers are going up as opposed to down?
See, anybody, even if they do 1 acre or 100 million acres, it needs to be appreciated, absolutely, no question. But at the same time, the reason why I took the route of policy change is, see today, let's say I have 1 million acres and I keep it well, really well. The next generation may come and rip it out. That's what we have done, right? Earlier it was all fine. We ripped it out. Where is the guarantee the next or the next generation won't rip it out? This is why a policy is very important. See, right now in the urban land, if you have, let's say 10,000 square feet of land in the city, they'll allow you to build 6,000, 7,000, whatever they allow you, according to the laws of the city. If you build something extra, they'll come and demolish your house or your building. But if you have 1 million acres or 1,000 acres or 2 acres, it doesn't matter what you have. Your rich land you have, in 10 years you make it into a desert. Nobody will say anything to you because there's no law. I'm saying agricultural land if you own, there must be a law. Minimum 3 to 6% organic content you must maintain. Whether you want to grow food or not, it's up to you. This is a human problem. There is no need to grow the amount of food that we are growing right now. It's too much food. For 8.4 billion people, we are growing enough food for more than 15 billion people because we throw things around like that. We are not hungry enough not to waste the food. We are not hungry enough, we were overfed and we are throwing all over the place. So, the volume of food that we are growing, we are approximately using 51 to 52 million square kilometers of land. Of this, 41 million is used for animals and animal feed. If you just reduce red meat by 25%, 10 million square kilometers of land will become free. So I'm saying we're doing excessive agriculture because it's seen as a commercial product. We are looking at soil as some kind of a commodity. We are not, referencing to it as life. It's a life-making material. In India, we refer to the soil as mother soil always. We never say simply soil, Thai Mannu. That means mother soil always. Because even our mothers were born out of this soil, isn't it? Well, unfortunately, I hear that here people refer to it as dirt. That's not nice. Hello?
No.
What you're born out of, what you're sustaining right now, The very body that you carry is soil. That's not dirt. If that is dirt, we are all dirt bags. It's very important because human mind, how you value it in your mind, that's how you treat something, isn't it? If something is valuable, they say, oh, this is like gold, people say all over the world. So if you give gold to them, they'll keep it carefully. If you give dirt to them, will they keep it carefully? No. So it's very important how we refer to it and how we experience it. That's another aspect. About soil, see, the minimum organic content that is necessary to call soil a soil is 3%, 3 to 6%. 3% is the minimum.
You mean soil organic matter?
Let me put this into very simple understanding for all of you. If you take a bucket full of sand and add 3 to 6% of organic matter, this will become soil. If you take a bucket full of rich soil, take out all the organic matter, this will become sand. This is what is called as desertification. If I tell you Saudi Arabia, when I say Saudi Arabia, you think a desert, isn't it? Saudi Arabia was a very rich rainforest 8,000 years ago. Today, it's a harsh desert. So I'm saying that's how topography changes if you do not take care of it. This is happening to the western part, this side of Mississippi is becoming a harsh desert, and this sand will go on land there also. You heard of the dust bowls and stuff. Nearly 50% of the American soil is in the Atlantic. The wind just carries because you plowed the grasslands and left it open. Prairie dogs, they killed in millions. Prairie dogs created a situation which would cause what is called as transpiration at the ground level. Normally, transpiration happens at the treetop level, but these prairie dogs are so brilliant, they created an ecosystem in the soil that it created transpiration at the ground level. But when they wanted to farm, they poisoned millions and millions of prairie dogs. Once the prairie dogs died or their populations went down, the rain in this part of the country became almost nil in that whole region. Because without that activity, rain will not come. Way back, some of the Indian tribes or… I'm sorry, you call them Indians, but I am the real Indian, okay? The Native American tribes clearly said, when the prairie dog stops crying, rain will stop. They said way back, because they noticed what is happening. There's no observation, everything is in the lab. I've been addressing a few agro-scientists conferences. It's incredible that they all think in of nitrogen, potassium, magnesium, this, that. They don't think of soil as a living system. It's a very, very dangerous way of looking at life. If I just look at you as calcium, magnesium, this, with all this, if I put it in a drum and stir it, will it become you, I'm asking? No. So, we are looking at life in parts, not as a holistic thing. And for this, there is a very big prize coming. We just refer to mental health. One of the significant aspects for the kind of mental destabilization that you're seeing today is lack of micronutrients in the food that you consume. Your stomach is full, but it doesn't have enough. The famous thing, one study that says, if you ate a California orange in 1920, what nourishment you got from that. If you have to get that today, you have to eat 8 oranges. Did you ever eat 8 oranges? No, if you had, I would have known you would be orange by now. Your color would have changed for sure. So, 90% reduction. Most of the vegetables in America, including the most commonly consumed lettuce, tomatoes, these things, 80 to 90% reduction in micronutrients. In India, the beans in the last 20 years have lost over 62% of the protein value it used to have 20 years ago. So what are you filling yourself with? Some rubbish. You're filling yourself with rubbish, and I see a huge board, I don't know, many of you might have seen in Los Angeles. One building used to be there about 3 or 4 years ago when I was driving. I'm just seeing a 10-storied building, a full-sized hoarding. It says, "My favorite pharmacy." When did a pharmacy become a favorite place to go to? A favorite cemetery is not far away. Pharmacy, hospital, cemetery are places you go when you can't help. You don't go there by choice, "This is my favorite place to go." But they're calling it a pharmacy, they're going there for complex nutrients. Because they know they're eating trash. They're beginning to understand. Those who can afford, they're buying this stuff and pumping themselves. Others are eating trash. And just look at this country. We can say it's the most affluent country on the planet in many ways. At least it's the largest economy. See, why an individual person or a society or a nation seeks affluence is, initially, it's a choice of food. If I have enough money, I can eat what I want, that's how it starts. And if next step is a choice of lifestyles, well, American citizens have the maximum choice of food and maximum choice of lifestyles. But you have $5.25 trillion healthcare budget. The second largest economy or the third largest economy in the world is $5 trillion. You guys spend that much on your health care, that means you're eating really great stuff. Hello? If you were eating good stuff, why would you spend $1 trillion, $5 trillion on health care? So this is something that needs to be addressed, but commercial forces have to run. You started something, it has to run. Businesses have to grow endlessly. We've created such a thing, it's time. If we… normally, I believe, for most human beings, the most precious thing in their life is their children. But the way we are going about, it looks like we don't care a hoot what happens to our children in the next 25 years' time.
And we feed them.
I am not being alarmist. Just look it up and see what's happening in the world. So, one of the important aspects of mental health is this. Today there are any number of studies and studies. You don't need… see, this is the problem. I've been saying these things for decades. The same thing is coming back to now after studies, which has cost $20 million, $100 million. God damn it, if you have little sense and if you look at it, you can say this is what is happening. This happened in India. In 2004, we had 1.23 billion bovine animals. We don't pen them up like this, they're all over, in the fields and everywhere. Today, I have been trying to push the Prime Minister and the Agriculture Minister towards this. They're doing something, but democratically elected leaders have this problem that they have only there, they have 5 years, here you have 4 years. They generally want to do things which will find result within 4 years or 5 years. Nobody wants to take up something which will take 15 years to bear fruit. This is a disastrous way of approaching long-term aspects of life. Hello?
Yep.
Suppose you are a parent for your children only for 4 years. What kind of parent will you be, I'm asking? Disaster or no? That's what we're doing. So, today the bovine animal population has come down to 600 million. Well, tractors are doing the job, machines are doing the job, but machines don't shit.
And they don't till the soil with their hooves.
No, tilling the soil, you can create a machine whichever way to till the soil, but machine doesn't shit. You must understand, the whole life process is a cycle. You break one aspect of the cycle, it's like you break one link of the chain, the chain is broken, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is very important. What we consume must in some way go back. There are only two basic sources of organic content. Please, all of you must understand and make at least another 100 people understand the next 1 year. There are only two sources of organic content on the planet: plant waste and animal waste. There is simply no other way. People say, technology, Sadhguru, AI can do it. Because you don't have any brains, you're thinking artificial intelligence is going to do everything. I'm saying there is no replacement for life. Life has to be as it is. We can do many other fanciful things in the world. You can bring technology and reduce, make agriculture more efficient. There are many aspects. One important thing is, today in Israel they're doing this, other places have still not caught up, is you can apply fertilizer and insecticide as it's needed for an individual plant. Robotic machines are moving around, they recognize this plant needs this much fertilizer, they give only that much to that plant, that much insecticide for that plant, only that much. This way, this massive use of fertilizer and chemicals could be reduced. In United States, the way you have used the fertilizer and pesticide is such, where Mississippi enters the Gulf of, I don't dare to say the name, the Gulf.
The Gulf.
The Gulf. Over 1,000 square miles of the Gulf is dead water because of these chemicals. Not a single iota of life in that, total dead. Over 1,000 square miles.
That's where I'm from.
Huh?
Mississippi River Delta, that's where
Mississippi takes that much fertilizer and pesticide into the Gulf. It better remain Mexico, isn't it? At least you're poisoning your neighbor, not yourself, by name I'm saying. So, this is something that needs to be simplified. This is not some complex science. The simple thing is this: the body that I carry is the soil that I walk upon. They're not two different things. If this has to be strong, this has to be strong, as simple as that. And the only way you can strengthen it is feed the life that is there. Microorganisms, they eat only organic content. Whichever way, if you're going to import it from moon and put it, please put it. But as far as I know, there are only two sources, plant life and animal life. If you found some other AI source, please put it. Just make sure if you pick the soil up, it's full of life. Life does not mean just earthworms, microorganisms. Once they are there, everybody else will come. If they are not there, nobody will come. Your own body is over 60%. If you pull that out, you don't have a body. As simple as that.
I think the big takeaway is from that, and thank you for that.
No, we should stop taking away.
Yeah, okay.
Because we didn't bring anything into this earth.
Yeah, exactly. The building block, the pillar of knowledge that I think that we have from that is we are the same biological process. If you think about it, and I had some amazing conversations with Alan Savory about this, but if you think about this, that's one of the biggest misconceptions of humanity, that we are separate from our environment. Because if you ask someone what the environment is, which
I call this high heel life. I'm not commenting about the ladies' fashion. I'm just saying, in every way we are seeing how to be away from the earth.
Exactly.
Some want to go to moon also now.
It's freezing cold.
Those who want to go, they can… No, if people want to go, I'm glad if people go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Those who value this planet, they stay here. Those who want to go to other planets, let them go.
Yeah. Bye, Felicia. No, but if you sit for a second and you think of, like, take a tree, right? You have these biomimicry. You have coral in the ocean that are a carbon copy of our brain. If you were to take a tree, say an oak tree, turn it sideways, it's literally anatomically almost a carbon copy of a human lung. Look at the Amazon river system. Compare that to the cardiovascular system of a human being. There is a lot of biomimicry, like there's just so much similarity. It's impossible to not be the same biological process. So whatever we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. That's the takeaway. That's the giveaway that we just got. If you can share that, because I know a lot of you in here have enormous ability to speak to people, share that feeling that you just got and you go, oh my gosh, we're not separate. We're the same. The beautiful thing is the soil organic matter that he was talking about. There's a very unique study. And while we were shooting Common Ground, and thank you for agreeing to be in our third film. We did two movies so far, Kiss the Ground and Common Ground. Reached over 1 billion people. Things are changing as a result of it. This man granted us his presence and likeness and insight in our third film. But the second film, Common Ground, which we were all a little concerned, we basically uncover through investigative journalism how a very large chemical company, well, I can say it, it's public knowledge, Monsanto, for the most part, has been through a system of microfinancing the vast majority of university, educational, agricultural curriculum in this country for 40 years. We uncovered on film. It's a thing. So when we take this vast amount of knowledge, right, and we couple it with a very specific piece of media, I implore you and beg you, just see Common Ground. It's on Amazon. Put those together, share this information. Because when you sit with Sadhguru or you watch something he's done, your relationship with that subject is never the same. Same as with Common Ground. When you see it, it's an experiential, it's like, remember the first time you went to a planetarium? Your relationship with the sky was never the same. When you sit with Sadhguru, your relationship with this knowledge will never be the same. So I think the giveaway was that we are the same exact biological process. And while we're running around these big, giant, outwardly engineered places, which are super cool, we've gotten away from here. As our soil gets healthier, our food will get healthier, our healthcare will go up, our healthcare costs will come down, our mental health will skyrocket. This is big, guys. This is worth hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year. So Josh and I, again, not to sound like the American capitalist pig, maybe capitalist puppy. Think about this. Josh and I wanted to send you this, we built this plan. The president and everyone wants to sit and talk to us about it, but it's a little hot right now. But basically, Josh and I, who directed the films, we're two dumb boys from Louisiana. Weren't college graduates.
Don't worry, this is not a confession. It's okay.
We put together a $250 billion a year plan to start injecting back into the U.S. Economy. $250 billion a year. It's pretty significant. So naturally, the president and a lot of people want to sit and talk to us about this so they can do things with money, public money. But anyway, the whole idea is once rural America starts making more, farmers are going to take their wives and their kids to dinner once a week.
Across the world, the most deprived profession on the planet is farming,
right,
who feeds all of us. Even in United States,
yeah,
nearly 60% of the farmers have not seen a single dollar of profit in the last 12 years. Because the input costs are going up like that. And if the produce is raised accordingly, in every country the inflation will go 5–10 times more than what it is right now. So we have decided to kill the farmer and think somehow it'll work in every country. This is almost without exception.
right.
It's going on. This is leading to various things. We've done a small survey in India. What I see is not even 2% of the farmers want their children to become farmers. So in another 25 years, when this knowledge of how to transform mud into food, it's not a small thing. Even if you get a PhD in agricultural sciences, you can't produce a crop, just know this. It takes a different kind of intrinsic relationship with the land to make that happen. So, that generation, if it moves away, it's almost like an end game. People are waiting when the real estate prices will go up, let's sell our land and go somewhere. This is how they're thinking. In Africa, where the organic content is 0.3% average, the worst in the world, you can just check it up. 2004 Google Maps, you look at African map, and today you look at it, the desert has grown 10 to 12% in 20 years' time. 10 to 12% of such a large continent has turning into a desert. And as the temperatures go up, when the temperature goes up, the wind speed will go up. This is something I spoke 35 years ago. Everybody laughed. Where is the proof? This is a problem in the world. Where is the proof? Proof will be there only after the disaster happens. Now they are saying, yes, this is happening. Why it's happening? The Kalahari sands are in different parts of Europe now. Because for every 1 degree rise in temperature, the wind speed will increase 15 to 25 kilometers. Now as the wind speed increases, millions of tons of sand from the deserts is rising and landing elsewhere. Whole of southern Romania, agriculture is covered with sand. The whole of Azerbaijan valley is covered with sand. It could happen. Not that I'm saying it should happen or it will happen, it is very possible that it could happen. One big massive movement of wind, if it happens because of temperature variations, high pressure, low pressure thing happens in a very violent way, as it happened this winter in United States, you must come and see in Tennessee. Just the places where I see, I have not traveled extensively this after I came now, just a little bit, at least a few thousand large trees are all down because the wind speed suddenly picked up like that. Because when the high pressure, low pressure thing goes in a certain way, in an unusual way, things just get ripped out. So if such a thing happens, it's possible if 1,000,000 tons of sand rises and lands, it could just cover a whole city overnight. It's a possibility. People say that's how Saudi Arabia got covered, it was happening steadily also, but somewhere, some event happened, maybe a volcanic eruption or something created such a big difference in temperatures that the wind picks up such speed that a massive amount of soil, 1,000,000,000 tons of soil went and landed on that land, and what was a rainforest became a desert, just like that. That possibility is still there. By nature, if all these things happen, what can we do? That's the nature of the planet. But we are causing it. That must stop. The simple thing is, if you raise organic content in the soil by 1%, we have proven this beyond any doubt, over thousands and thousands of acres of land, 1 percentage point of organic content raises means anywhere between 1.5 to 3 degree temperature drop happens. Over 60,000 liters of water sequestration happens. I must tell you my own experience. When I first came, when we were just building the Isha Yoga Center in Coimbatore, we are next to a very rich forest. If we go inside, if you walk a mile, you won't see sunlight, the canopy is like that. But this one hill which is right next to us was sheared off all the timber by illegal, there was a furniture industry running there, which we bought over and closed it down. They were just cutting timber from there and making furniture and selling. That entire hill was sheared off, all the old trees. So I gathered around 4,500 volunteers. I do things like this, I'm a slave driver. I don't pay anybody anything, but I make them work 18, 20 hours a day. This is the thing. So I got to about 4,500 volunteers and gave them some inspiring stuff and made a little song about planting these trees, and I'd created a device, a simple device with which they could plant trees. Along this one hill we planted, we must have planted, we planted in the form of seed at that time because the land is very rich in the mountains. We planted probably 6 to 8 million seedlings.
Wow.
And today you go to that particular hill and see, all the trees are just about 27, 28 years old. All the trees, because they were planted by these 4,500 people. I gave them only 2 meals a day and a song to sing. And they carried bags and bags of seed and sand and put these holes and put this. Our temperatures, being next to the mountain, our temperatures used to be 2 to 3 degrees higher than the city. Today you come and see minimum 4 to 5 degrees less than the city always, even in the peak summer, because it's not radiating anymore. Just this, our effort was just about 3.5, 4 days. I'm saying it can be done. It's just that all of us consume, but all of us are not doing the correctional activity. That's all the problem is. Today, our farmers have planted over 138 living trees. I'm using the word living because each one of them is monitored by the Indian Space Research Organization. If one tree dries up, immediately the information will come and it'll be replaced, because there is a subsidy for the tree growth. Every farmer wants the tree to grow because there is a annual subsidy for the growing tree. If it doesn't grow, he doesn't get it. And it's coded from the satellite, it is counting every tree. So there are technologies to do it. There are so many things available today which were not possible in the previous generation. It's just that the problem is so big, people think 138 million trees. When I went to the UNCCD and I said, see, we have a sample project like this, this needs to happen. He looks at the projects and says, Sadhguru, this is not a sample, this is the largest project on the planet. I said, that's a shame. That 138 million trees are largest project on the planet is an absolute shame. Because this whole thing started as part of Cauvery calling. Cauvery is a river which flows through those 3 states. It's the lifeline of these 3 states. I grew up around the banks of Cauvery river. I ate from that, I swam in that almost every day. So the river has been a part of me, but now if you go and see 50 years ago what this river was, today it's only 40% of what it used to be. So I thought we must put the trees back so that the river will flow once again. And I made a calculation, barefoot calculation. People will ask, where is the proof? How do you know the number? It's all stupid stuff. You want to spend $10, $20 million to just find out disaster is happening, can't you see? So I said, 83,000 square kilometers of land is Cauvery basin. On an average, if you make 30% into trees, it will be approximately 2.4 billion trees. So there were laws in India, in many states, that if a farmer grows his own tree in the agricultural land, if he cuts it for his use, he will be arrested. Because tree cutting is a crime. In the forest, it's a crime. On my land, if I cut my tree, if you're going to arrest me, I will make sure I never plant a tree. Hello? Because it's my land. So we changed these laws. I had to run pillar to post for about 12 to 13 years to change these laws, relax these laws in such a way that a farmer can grow timber to the extent that he wants. This is not complete timber. This is along with the regular agriculture. We are even growing paddy along with trees and every kind of other things. Just with this, because the tree litter comes down, the organic content has gone up from below 1% to 3 to 4%. Their incomes have gone up 300 to 800%. Water tables have come up significantly in most parts. This is where This is not our full-time job either. Just a little bit of effort, this can happen. But whatever we do, it is not the solution. The solution is only in the policy. The policy should fix it so that nobody can mess with it tomorrow also, not just today. Because this is not… what we are playing with is not a joke. About mental health, if we're talking, there's substantial studies to show children who grow up in green atmospheres, their mental resilience is much better, significant improvement. We are showing this, there are studies and statistics, I think it's on one of our websites probably, significant changes in the ADHD thing, I don't know what other alphabets you have for your children, but this attention deficiency, the basic thing is the focus filters in the brain are recharged very effortlessly if you're in a green atmosphere. And if your hands, if your palms and your soles touch the soil every day, your immune system is significantly better. 2 years ago, I cracked my head, hit it here and there and cracked it up. So I went for some emergency surgeries. There the doctors looking at me and saying, Sadhguru, your immune system is 5 times stronger than normal. How do you do this? I said, I just live on this planet, others are living in stratosphere. I am on the land. When the COVID outbreak happened, well, first 1 year, 1 month or so, 1.5 months, I had to stay in the thing because in India there was a serious lockdown. So at that time I did a simple thing. We managed both the centers here and there, a few thousand people are there, all right, about 6,000 people are there, not a single death, not a single admission into the hospital. We managed this and we were working in the villages, everything. One thing I did is just this, when I walk in the garden, 12 different types of leaves, unwashed, just wipe it with your hands and eat. This is all. During the COVID, I came here, I did the Save Soil movement. When the COVID was at its peak, through Europe, Arabia, everywhere, then as if that was not enough, I toured 17 Native American nations here in United States. Because the immune system is capable of handling this. People are falling like flies simply because people are living away from the earth. Otherwise this wouldn't happen. There'll always be some constitutions which are a little weaker, that's different, but it need not happen so massively. It's happening so massively, type of food we're consuming, type of air we're breathing, and above all, no contact with the earth. We've forgotten that's where we come from. Do we have to be reminded only with the burial? Or will we be aware of this when we are living? If we don't get it now, we'll get it from the maggots, but it's a bit late for us.
One of the things from your website too was talking about, there's some stats, kids today swipe through 1,000 images before lunch, but won't walk barefoot across the lawn. And here's the thing, so when you tell people soil is the foundation, and it actually has the ability to, once you're grounded, I mean, there are ancient cultures that they understood the idea of grounding to the earth, right? These were very connected people. That's all gone. And the name will go unnamed, but I directed this commercial for a soil company. You had bagged soil, really, really cool idea, composting food waste. But in the dialogue, and the guy that did it before me was, I forgot his name, Richard Sherman. He's like a famous Seattle Seahawk. He's a football player. I was mentioning that there is significant data that proves that putting your hands and your feet in soil have unbelievable positive effects on mental health, on immunity, all these things. And I turn in my cut of the video.
I must tell you this. This is many years ago, maybe 20, 23, 24 years ago. Our activity was mostly limited to Michigan and Illinois at that time. When I was here, I told them we have a yogic hospital in India. About 6 doctors, American doctors, came to our center. I was busy, I didn't meet them, and then on the 3rd or 4th day after their arrival, our volunteers came and said, Sadhguru, these American doctors are very angry, they want to leave. I said, what happened? I don't know, you come and talk to them. Then I went and met them, what happened? They said, you said there is a yogic hospital. We've gone through the whole premises, we didn't see any hospital. Oh, I said, oh, your idea of a hospital is proper, comfortable bed, pretty nurses going around and serving them. Nobody will want to get well if you treat them like that. So the patients who come to me, I put everybody to work. Hello?
You're Mr. Miyagi. Remember Mr. Miyagi?
So, I put all these people to work in the garden, the patients, and they get well. If you give them a lot of work, they'll get well very soon. And I said, no, yogic hospital does not mean lying on a bed and being served in the bed. No, they're all working in the garden, you go meet them. And they'll tell you miraculous stories, how this went away, that went away, all kinds of things went away. One important thing, of course there are practices in other Ayurvedic systems, but one of the most important thing is their hands and feet are in the soil. Very, very important.
Big time.
But today, everybody is having a mud bath, that's fine.
Yeah, right?
It's okay, somehow do it.
I love it. Well, that's what happened to me. I said this in the commercial that I made for them, and corporate called, and they said, and they were, I mean, it was a job, it was a big job. And they said, no, you can't say this. I said, what do you mean? I mean, I'm from an agricultural family, I grew up this way, and there's a lot of data, there's a lot of science that proves this, right? No, it's not proven, so you can't say it. This is one of the bigger soil companies you see in every Home Depot, everywhere. And I said, so you're telling me because of your corporate policies, you're trying to mitigate liability, I can't say…
Right now the problem is this, if you say, I was born to my mother, they'll say, it's not proven yet.
It's not proven yet.
Correct.
I mean, I was born in a time where my mother was given the twilight shot. Who else had babies or was born in the 70s? They used to give women the twilight shot. You get this shot, it's primarily men doctors in the 70s, they give you a shot and you wake up and you're holding a baby. They did everything. And they also gave my mother a shot. And she was this very holistic woman.
What is a twilight shot?
I know, I want one. It makes you fall asleep. So when you wake up and you have a baby, you're so out of it.
Oh.
And they also convinced her, and she's like, I don't know what in the hell I was thinking. My mother grew up, she's a farm girl. Like, she grew up, she's this amazing Native American, shaman chick. They gave her a shot to dry up her milk because they said you could get infections. And the formula that we make now is actually better designed for a baby anyway. This was American medicine in the 70s. I was born in 1978. They had the audacity to tell a 28-year-old woman that she didn't need to experience childbirth, they'd do it for her, and that they would dry up her milk because the milk they created was better for the baby anyway. Now, I came out of it reasonably well. I don't have too many problems. But this is, can you imagine the audacity of the American medical system? And that was 47 years ago. So
disgusting.
it's terrible, right? So there's these cycles. Now, all the things we've been saying, I will say, in Africa, the third film really focuses on this too. Groundswell, agroforestry is taking hold. When he was talking about growing trees also with agriculture.
Well, let me do one thing, See, in India also agroforestry happens.
Careful, I'll put you to work.
But what happens is, the moment you call it agroforestry, in most nations it falls under the forest ministry. Forest ministry is all stop. So now we call it tree-based agriculture.
Tree-based
I just renamed it and everything became okay.
There you go. There you go. That's like, remember in America when you could get dolphin-safe tuna? There you go, tree-based agriculture.
Tree-based agriculture.
So what's happening with tree-based agriculture is, it's going to blow your mind. It's growing at such an amazing rate, and it is single-handedly going to be the thing that stops the expansion of the Sahara and the Sahel. It's working. Now, if you think about one of the big things, and this is what I talked to the big policymakers up in Washington, a very functioning, amazing place. That was a joke. Is that if you look at a lot of the hurricanes that hit the continental U.S. and destroy so much, disruption of life, healthcare issues, all this stuff, a lot of them come as storms that come off the tip of Africa, right? So imagine building enough tree-based agriculture to actually start shifting and changing the winds, slowing them down, altering, using a lot more transpiration. Remember, transpiration, 40% of Earth, it's not just the large oceans and lakes and that create water. The small water cycle, also called transpiration, makes up for 40% of the Earth's water cycle, right? So it's amazing to see. We are looking at providing food in regenerative soil, jacking up our economies, jacking them, like literally jacking them, and producing better food, better national security for all nations, better mental health, and now tree-based agriculture is going to most likely shift Africa. These are monumental movements. It's happening right now as we speak. So it is not all doom and gloom, but man, we have a lot of work to do. But it's changing. So thank you for not being lazy and a deadbeat, for actually getting out there and doing it. I'm so deeply grateful.
I'm essentially very lazy.
Well, that's why you give people 4,500 people a song and a dance.
But
But you are making Karate Kids all over
I
the
do
world.
only what is needed,
Yeah, right.
nothing more. But unfortunately, too many things are left undone.
Well, he's doing so much. I know we're probably short on time. Can I ask you one more question?
Mm-hmm.
You have the biggest voice in this space, right? Yeah. It's LA. Can you go up one more octave? Do you mind one more octave up? Somebody get this man a voice coach. I came from entertainment. I retired from that business 7 years ago. I was on a TV show that now 1.2 billion people have seen, right? There's 1 in 8 people in the world, right? So it makes my relationship with any place I walk outside of my home very unique, much like yours. But there are a lot of people here that have enormous ability to speak to a lot of people and share. What's the one thing you want anyone to walk away with so they literally can go share it so easily, not just talk to someone and say, oh my gosh, I just want to experience this thing. So one person tells another person, and maybe there's 500 people that you can talk to physically that come out of this, but people you can talk to by pushing a button and sharing your experience. Is there any one thing other than just save soil, because that's so important? You have all these fun anecdotes and all the stuff you say that makes us chuckle. And then we'll probably go to work for you. Do you mean to clean your car? Is it outside? Is there any one thing you want to share so that we can then take it out and use all of our channels to just,
See, the reason why we are handling the planet the way we are handling is we are not even in touch with the life that we are. Our idea of life is right now only of our physiological needs and our psychological circus. So, if we little more look at this life, you can understand what I call my body is something that I've gathered. Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was born… I'm just asking all of you, normal birth? just checking, hello? You didn't drop like this. You came like this and slowly. So you gathered this body. From where? Just the food that you've eaten. Where did the food come from? From the soil. Whatever you call as my mind is just the impressions that you've taken from the world around you. Everything that you've seen, heard, smelt, tasted, everything has gotten here. So, these two accumulations of body and mind, your accumulations you must use. What belongs to you, you must use well. But you cannot claim it's me. The moment you make this mistake, everything that you do is a mistake. People, you also refer to me as a mystic. So one time it happened, most of the books, except one or two, all others are just my talks. They put the talks together and make a book out of it.
Seems logical.
So it comes for the title. Sadhguru, you give the title for the book. So one book comes, I flip through that and then say, of mystics and mistakes. They said, Sadhguru, this is too much in the face, it's little. I said, no, that's how it is, because I see life just the way it is and you're accusing me that I'm a mystic. So I'm saying you're a mystic. You're not seeing life the way it is. You're seeing it through the lens of your psychological screen and making up all kinds of things in your head.
Are you just pointing to me or are you talking…
You also.
You're talking to everybody?
So every human being, they're just looking at everything with the things that are identified. Your nationality, your gender, your race, your religion, so much rubbish. You're not experiencing life for what it is. If you touch the life that you are, it's very easy to know that you're just a part of the larger phenomena that's happening here. Life is the greatest phenomena that's happening here. You're just a small outcrop, you're like a wart on the planet. And not a good way to…
Yeah, thanks, Sadhguru. I was with you up until that… No, I'm joking.
But warts don't fall away so easily, we will fall.
Right.
Just a pop-up and we'll pop out. How much nonsense we've created in our heads. One fundamental problem is this, we don't have a context as to who we are. See, in this creation, the cosmos, if you take it, men of science have clearly admitted they don't know where it begins, where it ends. They openly admit it. Men of God, people who claim to be men of God, they also have no clue where it begins, where it ends. Many of them are still going about saying earth is flat and this and that, all right. So, you don't even know where it begins, where it ends, or it's seemingly limitless. In this seemingly limitless cosmos, planet Earth is a speck. In that speck, Los Angeles is a micro-speck. In that micro-speck, you are a big man. This is a serious problem. You have no context. If you understand who you are before you and me came here, countless number of people have walked this place and they all thought they're very bloody smart, smarter than you and me. Where are they? All of them topsoil, isn't it? You will also be topsoil. I will also be topsoil unless your friends choose to bury you real deep,
Right.
fearing you may rise from the dead.
Exactly.
Because there have been such situations also. Can I tell you a joke? Because you're wearing a hat, I'm thinking of telling you a joke.
Okay, tell me a joke.
There was a couple in Texas. Texans pride themselves to be wearing the biggest hats or whatever.
Right.
They didn't say they have the biggest heads, they said they have the biggest hats.
Right.
I'm not insulting them, I'm saying that's what people say.
Right.
Boots and hats. So they got married after college and they had this thing that they want to go to the Holy Land. Jerusalem they want to go. But the wife got pregnant, baby came, then the baby, child is a lot of work. Then one more came, lot more work, one more came, 5 came. Then graduation happening for the first child, they could not go. Every year they planned Holy Land trips, never happened, never happened, never happened. After they were 75 years of age, they got an opportunity and they went to Jerusalem. They were overawed because they've been waiting for this over 50 years to go to Jerusalem. And that's a place where every cobblestone bleeds of history, all kinds of stories. So they walked that street where Jesus is supposed to have walked, it meant so much to them. Then they went to that place where he is supposed to have walked upon water. Like this, they were overawed by everything. But unfortunately, the wife had a heart attack and she died. That happens, Then the man was preparing to bring her back to Texas. The local people came and they said, no, your wife has done the right thing. She's died in the Holy Land, she came all the way to die here. You don't take her back. And above all, taking the body back, the airlines are charging $18,000. Plus local charges in Texas for all the rituals, we don't know what it'll cost. So, because you're American and we love you, and above all you're from Texas, we love you even more. So we'll give you a very big discount, $15,000, we'll do all the rituals, let's do it here. The man thought about it and said, no, I'll take her back to Texas. They said, why? You distressed? After 50 years of marriage, you lost your wife, you're not able to think straight. All right, we'll give you super discount, $10,000, let's do it. He thought about it and said, no, I will take her back to Texas. They said, why? They said, you have totally lost your mind. You only lost your wife, not your mind. Why are you behaving like this? All right, we'll give you full discount, only $5,000, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. The man thought about it and said, no, I'll take her back to Texas. Then they threw their hands up and said, what the hell is this? Why? $18,000 for the plane ride, then all the charges there, we're giving you $5,000, we'll do everything here in the Holy Land. He said, in Texas, dead stay dead.
Oh my gosh. And if he buried her on his land, it's tax-free.
Tax break, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Donald Trump actually has his ex-wife buried on his property in Palm Beach. Because if you bury someone, it's a tax loophole, it becomes a cemetery, and you can't tax the land.
Oh.
So
You just have to find a dead guy.
you just got. So if you have anybody, the property taxes in California are killing me. So I'll bury whoever you need.
This is only in California? Or
No, I think it's all over. Yeah, it's yeah.
Oh.
So, doesn't it make you want?
By the way, Dr. Emeran is here. Please, sir, if you wish to say something, please, a microphone.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, so first of all, it's a real honor to be here again
close.
and talk to you, Sadhguru. Nice to meet you, and it's
Great to meet you.
great conversation. Yeah, so I'm not really a soil expert, but I'm a microbial expert, a microbiome expert, and clearly what you're describing, the connectedness between us and our mind and our gut and the microbes inside the gut and the
There's no
microbes.
us and them, sir. We are just us. Because there are more of them here than us.
Yeah, so there's this planetary network of these microorganisms, larger than anything else that's on this planet. And yeah, now medicine is focusing on the gut microbiome, but they're not thinking about the soil microbiome. We know that the nutrients that you've talked about are very much dependent on how the microbes interact with the root system of the plants and stimulate them to produce these health-promoting micronutrients. If you take away that system and use chemical agriculture, the plants look great, but when you eat them, you won't get any of these beneficial. And the interesting is, if you have regeneratively grown plants, they have these micronutrients, but there's such large molecules that you as a human cannot absorb them. So they have to go down into the large intestine, and your microbes recognize these molecules that come from their cousins in the soil, break them up into smaller pieces, and they exert their health benefits. So to me, that's always the most beautiful story of interconnectedness between our health, even our brain health, the microbial health, and the soil health, because they do something, they understand the same language, even though they're both invisible in the soil or in the gut, but they speak the same language, and that language is essential to our health. I think we're just gradually, realizing this. Even though a lot of people get distracted with supplements, you want to make money, you don't want to take advantage of what's in the soil. You want to make money by selling all kinds of supplements that are supposedly a substitute for what you can get. It's not a substitute. It's not just one organism. It's like, it's an ecosystem in your gut that does the wonders. And if you want to help this ecosystem inside of you, you can't do this by just throwing in pills or probiotics or prebiotics. You have to recognize where it comes from and where the main source is, and the main source is in the soil. So that's how far I can relate to Sadhguru's. It's beautiful. You can say it a lot better. I can see it in scientific terms, but I've been fascinated from the first time that I met you that, how this convergence of minds from two totally different angles, from the science part and from spiritual part. It's been a great privilege to have that experience, I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you so much for that. Here's the crazy thing. I'm not from Texas, but I'm from Louisiana, so I can say, here's the thing, y'all. Going back to the same biological process. It's bizarre that it's taken us this long. The human body is effectively only as healthy as the microbiome of the gut, right? Soil is only as healthy as the microbiome of the soil. It's the same biological process. So when you kill the gut biome inside of you, there's also another biome. It's actually even more important. Artificial sweeteners, chlorinated water, all these things we're doing that we're killing.
About chlorinated water. See, this is one thing to understand. He's the expert in this. See, if there is something, we use something to kill one bacteria or one organism, we must understand that all life on this planet is made the same way, except some rare octopus which carries a different kind of stuff. Everybody else is made the same way. If something kills a bacteria, a higher dose will kill us. Just we need a little larger dose. So we just poisoning the urban water all across the world. Chlorine, chlorine, chlorine. Drink a bottle of chlorine and see what happens to you. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
We think that's the only way to make the water safe. It is not. There are so many organic ways of making the water safe. And every bacteria need not be dead. They are needed for this life. You're not even capable of digesting the food that you eat without these organisms doing their work. Your own system cannot digest the food without them, but we're killing them everywhere and thinking we will be healthy out of that. Somebody makes one deadly soap and they say all the time, you must wash your hands, we must wash your hands. As a rule, I tell people, unless they're conscious, they touch something, don't wash your hands. Just wipe it clean and use it. Because it's very important, organisms are alive. Now, you grow up in a lab and when you come out, you suffer. It need not be so. There's a significant amount of information today. We always know this by experience, but your life's experience is not valuable, it has to come from the lab. Only if it comes from the lab, it's useful today, unfortunately. This has become a huge business by itself. You'll research everything that's been known for 1,000 years. Well, I'm not trying to speak against science. Science is a very, very fantastic thing. It's done incredible things to us. But still, our basic intelligence, there is no substitute for that. Looking at life the way it is. So what can kill one organism can kill us. What it takes is a higher dosage, that's all. So we think we're killing this, we're killing that and we are safe. It doesn't work like that. To some extent we may have to do because we've gotten used to a certain way of living, but we should know where to stop, and commercial forces are guiding us. I see in America only this is, on your lawn, one little weed with flowers have come, gone. Hurry, stop shooting at everything, including your children's games are all about shooting something.
Everything. On the water side, do you have a favorite water filter that you talk about or know in America? Because that's the thing, right? You have to mitigate liability. In the US, you don't want microbes in water because people getting sick would cripple municipal systems, right? There would be lawsuits left, right, and center. So filtering your water is everything. People in Los Angeles know that, but designing, it's the end, in America, the end user is really responsible for filtering your water because we shot Vampire Diaries in Atlanta, Georgia. It's got some of the worst water in the world, in the country, because the aqueducts were made of bricks. And sometimes the bricks the dirty water gets mixed in with the clean water, so they really dose it, they kill everything. When we first moved there, a lot of our crew members, their children were having all these neurological problems and all this stuff because you take hot water out of your out of your shower, that's now airborne. You just took it from a liquid to a gas, and in that gas, it's full of chlorine. So what are you doing? The whole time you're breathing it in, causing so much neurological issues. Drinking it, you're causing gut issues. So filter is something that I want to talk to a lot of people in the United States. I'm not going to get into that business. I probably should have. I have too many businesses as it is right now, but that's something too in America that I think is a scary, scary thing. We're destroying our gut microbiome and we're destroying the soil microbiome. So we bring all that to light. We bring all that together. We have this man to rely on. Save Soil. The website itself is just this unbelievable cornucopia of information, which was also our Kiss the Ground website. But when you get a second, this is not me like promoting our film. I'm saying this changes your life. See Common Ground and then really peruse this Save Soil website. Really understand what's going on so you can share this with people because this will change your life. Not like Sadhguru's jokes, but this will change your life. What he has spent his entire life doing and what we've spent the last, I didn't shoot him. I filmed.
You should.
No, I filmed.
Did you bury them in your own land?
I filmed Alan. I filmed Alan Savory, and that was in 2011. So that was in like April of 2011. I was in Zimbabwe filming. So what is this, 26? 15 years ago. So I've been at this for 15 years. He's been at this for 50 years. These are your two most reliable sources. Common Ground and the Save Soil website. I'm telling you, it will change the way you see the world.
If you are more scientific bent of mind, we've presented the data in a very more personalized, simple way. But if you have a more scientific kind of mind, UNFAO is the best place to go to. Phenomenal amount of information is there. And one thing that all of us should watch out for is, it is estimated by 2035, about 1.4 to 1.6 billion people will migrate in this world because growing food in their own native lands becomes more and more difficult. This is particularly true in Africa. Africa itself can contribute over 1 billion people to this. Any unplanned migration of people is torture.
It's terrible.
And the worst happens to women and children. Worst. If you want to see what's happening, go to Southern Europe and see where all these African men and women are landing up. They don't know the language, they don't have any skills to survive in that society. What happens there is most inhuman, particularly for women and children. This is happening because they are not able to grow any food in their lands. So tree-based agriculture is the most important thing. We are presenting this to these agencies. If trees are standing, it's living wealth for them. They won't leave that and come. Right now there's nothing on the land. It's become, after 40, 50 years of farming, it's become fallow. Because, see, this is simple understanding just for you when you speak to somebody. Simple thing is this, from 1 acre of land, let us say you removed 1 ton of whatever you grow. In this country, mostly you're growing corn. It's pretty corny, you must stop doing this. Corn is not the thing to grow so much of it. So you removed 1 ton of corn means you removed 1 ton of organic matter from the soil. So are we putting that much back? No. When that doesn't happen, on an average in the world, between 25 to 40 years of farming is all that the land can take. After that it becomes desert. So right now, nearly 2/3 of the world's agricultural land is estimated to turn into deserts in a matter of 30 to 35 years' time, that is 2050, this could happen. And people are fighting for certain lands. Some of the wars being fought right now is for the agricultural soils. You must understand.
This is one last thing. Think about this. Cultural clashes, right? Droughts drive people out. Climate, let's call it changing climate, right? And this is something we were talking about, I was talking about with your team, with Swami and Ma at 5 in the morning. I think I slept like 3 hours. A lot of people can't agree the climate is changing, right? Fine. So and I get in so much trouble. People yell at me after this. Like when I'm going to get my car, they're like, I can't believe you said that, you know? If we can't all agree the climate's changing, then screw the climate. Let's stop talking about it. Let's talk about something we can agree on. The weather is changing. Everybody knows. Sadhguru, you know 1 million people. Everyone has a great uncle in Indiana that, oh, the weather, oh my gosh, it's changing, right? So deploying these regenerative systems, whether it be tree-based agriculture in Africa or the Middle East, or in Tennessee or here in California. The cool thing about it is, when we start to deploy these massive regenerative practices, we start changing the small water cycle, we start the biosequestration of carbon dioxide, putting it into the soil. The health of the soil is the health of the plants, the health of the microclimate. Well, if we can affect millions of microclimates, then we will effectively, overall, affect the macroclimate, right? Instead of bludgeoning each other over the head with so many regulations and stuff, we have to remember, China is still going to burn coal, right? Places all over the world are going to burn coal. In the US here, you can't go to India or Bangladesh and tell them they can't grow their GDP the way we did. They're going to tell you you can't do that. So, bring it all together. What happened in, say, Syria, right? Look at these. Go back and look at history. The climate dried up. People had to move from a rural area into an urban area. There was cultural clash. Boom. And Josh always says, you can't make enough guns to outrun the desert. What Sadhguru was just saying, 2/3 of the world's lands is desertified. It's happening so fast, you can't build enough guns to go fight each other. It's just expanded. So we deploy the regenerative practices. We save our soil. We save our family, our communities, our economies. We save ourselves. And that, I hope, don't take it away. Use it as a building block for when you walk out of this beautiful house. Hopefully, you've changed a little bit.
The real takeaway is no takeaway.
No takeaway. Exactly. No takeaway.
Because the planet won't allow you to take away anything,
Exactly.
because you didn't bring anything.
You didn't bring anything. Although you can take away, in America, you can take away a lot in styrofoam from restaurants, and it's just so much. That's what I think everyone take away. But the honor that everyone has talking to you, listening to you, this is one of the greatest honors I've ever experienced in my short 47 years on this planet. Sitting here talking to you.
Thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you, my dear brother.